Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. This is Chris Lazick with Poseidon Tactical. I just had a customer that was requesting some instruction on how to install an Ulticlip, and I figured I'd do a video real quick just to show how easy it is. In front of us, there is this holster on the right hand side, and pretty much that's just kind of showing one way to install an Ulticlip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show how to replace some hardware like this offset overhook and kind of replace that particular one with an Ulticlip. All right, so this is the hardware that you should be receiving in the mail. There's obviously an Ulticlip, which is a phenomenal attachment for an inside the waistband holster. That will be included, as well as a couple of different screws, different length screws, a nut or a Chicago screw, as well as 3 different sizes of spacers, a finish washer, and this is just a piece like a rubber O-ring that I use just in the event you're looking for a little bit more friction. Okay, that's all the pieces that you need. In fact, those are way more pieces than you need. I just threw some extra pieces in there for flexibility. Okay, as far as tools, I think you can pretty much get away with this with a Phillips screwdriver, and you could use some Loctite in the event you weren't going to be adjusting that screw very often. Okay? All right, so here's the holster I'm going to use as an example. Pretty much on this customer's holster, they have an ARC or an adjustment screw there to adjust the retention. We're going to go ahead and grab an Ulticlip and we're going to install it pretty much in an area here. I'm going to use this one. It's just going to be a better example, an easier example maybe for you guys to follow. So all that I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove whatever hardware that is attaching your attachment point to the holster. In this case, it's an offset overhook. So just grab your screwdriver, start unscrewing, just pull out all the hardware. Should be some sort of spacer or washer. You can pretty much leave that right in place. Okay, don't know if you can see that or not. All right, just leave those 2 things in place. If they happen to fall out, you pretty much have a Chicago screw there. Go ahead and put your rubber washer in between them. I have pretty much a hole punch that I use just to kind of line things up. That's helpful to line things up, but the reality of the situation is you can just kind of maneuver that with your fingers to put in place. Okay, so grab that. Come over and grab, let's start with the smallest spacer I have. This is hard plastic. This won't give. This isn't like a rubber washer that is going to flex. This is pretty standard. And all that I'm going to use this for is just so we could bump up and get this Ulticlip. We're just going to bump this up so it doesn't run into the trigger guard. Now, on your particular holster, I believe that the trigger guard is a little higher than this particular example, but this one should work. The smallest one, the shortest one, is the one that I'd have you start off with, because I think that's going to be the one that's going to work for you. So just put that down, come across here, put the hole that's on your Ulticlip. Grab your finished washer, and I would grab your longest screw. And you're just going to kind of thread those things through there. So that should be the order in which all those items kind of go together. Okay? And just grab your screwdriver. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of holding that with my finger. I'm holding the Chicago screw with my finger here. And I'm just kind of holding that in place so it doesn't spin. And then I'm just starting to kind of tighten this up until it kind of locks in. Now, what's going to be unique about this is this screw is going to be the same thing that's going to adjust the tension on your holster. So the reason why I went with the longest, just so you have a little bit more flexibility on the tension that you put on it. Okay? And go ahead and tension it. I don't have the pistol out here for this particular holster, so just use your imagination. And, you know, go ahead and tighten it to where you want the tension to be. Generally, I like it just enough in there to hang in there, but enough to really easily pull out. So if you're running down the road, that's not going anywhere, but at the same time, it's going to hold it in place and not accidentally remove. So this is pretty much it, guys. That's all there really is to it. Again, so if you're looking at this, you got the Chicago screw. You have that rubber washer that was already with your holster. Then you have that hard plastic spacer. You have the Ulticlip. You have the finish washer, and then you have the longest screw. Okay, that's pretty much all you need to clip that on. Just snaps on there. You don't even need to wear a belt. Fits in there just like that. About this is you can kind of, you're on a hinge point, so you can kind of maneuver it to where it's most comfortable for you. And whether you're wearing it appendix or at the 4 o'clock, either way it's going to be comfortable. Okay? You got my number. Please feel free to leave any questions you have underneath the video, or give me a call or text us at PoseidonTactical.com. And there's email there, and we're happy to help at any time. Anyhow, that's all I got for today.